What's going on, everybody? Yeah, it's been a while, ain't it? Yeah, it's probably been what, 2 or 3 weeks since I posted a video. Maybe more, I don't know. No, sorry I ain't been on here. I've been sick. Just got a lot of stuff going on and everything. Here a couple weeks ago, I actually went up to Indiana and picked up I think it was a 39 foot avalanche, I think is what it was, fifth wheel, and took it down to Dover, Florida, and everything. And I left, I think it was Wednesday whenever I left. But that weekend before, man, I tell you what, I was sick. I don't think I had COVID. I could have, but I don't think I did. Of course, I mean, I don't never go to the doctor, so I just let it run its course and everything. Sometimes that's probably a bad thing to do, but that's just the way I am. I don't like doctors. I don't like hospitals. But now that Friday night, or Friday all day, I was feeling good. And that week before, I had been getting up a lot earlier, basically forcing myself to get up to check the load board and pretty much stay on it all day, and stressing out trying to get a load and all that mess. And for those of y'all that don't know, like I said in some previous videos, I pretty much got to do what my, sorry about the sun, I pretty much got to do what my body tells me to do. If I try to make my body do something that it don't want to do, it messes me up. I don't sleep that good at night. It's hard for me to get to sleep at night. So whenever I start trying to force myself to get up real early, or try to get up before my body tells me to get up, then usually if I do that for a couple of days straight in a row, or 2 or 3 or whatever, usually it makes me sick. I don't know if that could have had something to do with it. I know a lot of my friends around here, one of my friends at the fire department, his young baby, I think he's like 3 or 4 months old, had to take him to Labonner in Memphis. He had the flu. Then he got back and got better, and a couple weeks later, him and his other son had the flu. So it could have been the flu I had, I don't know. But anyway, that Friday night I went to bed and I was freezing to death. And I mean, I had hoodie on, I was up underneath the covers, just all tucked in, everything, and I was just completely freezing to death. I took my temperature, I had 102 temp. I took some Tylenol and I think some NyQuil, I think. Again, I don't like taking medicine neither, so but I had to get that fever down. And so I tucked myself back up underneath the covers, and whenever I woke up, my clothes, my bed sheets, my pillow, my bed, everything was just completely soaking wet. I was just laying in a puddle of sweat. Throughout that day and a little bit the next day, I still had a fever on and off. And finally the fever broke. Still felt like crap. Every single muscle in my body, and I mean every single muscle, was just aching. I barely could move. But so like I said, the fever broke. I was still feeling bad, just aching all over. Didn't want to move, didn't want to do anything. And then never had a cough. I was spitting up all this phlegm and stuff like that, this yellow phlegm, but I never really had a cough or anything like that. Never lost my smell or taste or anything like that. So like I said, that sort of makes me, because that's one of the symptoms of COVID. But I don't think I had it, but I stayed away from people and pretty much stayed in the house for about 4 or 5 days. Didn't get around nobody. But started, like I said, fever broke. It stayed broke for a couple of days and everything, and then I started feeling a little bit better. Not too much, but a little bit. So I picked that load going down to Dover. Went up there and got it, and I made a video starting out, but I didn't post it because it just didn't turn out good, and I didn't finish it because, like I said, I was just feeling so bad. Basically, like I said, what I did is I went up to Indiana, picked up a 39-foot avalanche, took it to Dover, Florida. I got down there, it was on a Friday when I got down there, and it was going to General RV is where it was going to. And with General RV, you can drop after hours. Basically, you won't get your, no, I take it back. I got down there Thursday evening. I got there about 4:30, I think. And they stopped accepting at 4. So I got down there and I just went ahead and dropped it, left my paperwork and everything in the side compartment, took pictures, everything, just to cover my butt. And because that was the first time I've ever dropped one without having it inspected while I was there and get my paperwork then. But I could have waited till the next morning, but I was just, like I said, felt like crap, and I was just ready to get back home. So, like I said, I dropped it, left my paperwork, come on back, right on the other side of Tallahassee, Florida. Stopped there at the TA. I can't remember, I think it's Marianna, Florida, I think. Stopped there, took me a shower, and then come back out, went to bed, and woke up the next morning, and I was feeling a lot better then. Then I came on home. On the way home, I was looking at the backhaul board, and there was 4 Sportsman travel trailers that they needed brought back from Columbus to here at Belden, Mississippi, which is about an hour one way. So I done those 4. On the way back, I stopped at Columbus, grabbed one, and then picked that one up and everything and brought it back to Belden. I'm pretty good with the people here at Great American RV in Belden, Columbus, so they give me the gate code and everything. So it's not normally one that you can drop anytime, but they let me. And so that night I done them 4 and done them transfers, and then the next morning I was paid and everything. So but anyway, that's that, and I'm feeling a lot better now. I got my energy back, and just ready to get after it again, I guess. But hell, it's already been on 10 minutes right now, and what I was wanting to get at was I'm out here working on my Kubota tractor. Then I got to get out here and work on my my truck. Well, I got to service my truck. It's a little bit overdue. It's about close to 1,000 miles overdue for an oil change. So I got to get that done before I go back out. I don't know when I'm gonna go back out because there ain't nothing on the load board. But my truck, it started overheating a little bit. Not really overheating, but temperature started getting up there to a little bit over 210 a few times. So I have a feeling I gotta spray the radiator and AC condenser out again. Done that once before. I didn't make a video on it, but if you want to know how to do it, go check out C Farmer's video. He done it, and I might do a video on this one. I don't know. But going down there to Florida, they had all them daggone love bugs and everything, and I have a feeling it's done clogged up the radiator again, so I gotta get out there and clean it out. But what I'm working on now is my tractor. I've been out here clearing out some of the little bit what they done whenever they cleared my timber, cut my timber, and I'm trying to clear a little bit out. Fixing to start putting up a fence. I may start doing well, I may let y'all know at the end of the video what I got in mind about doing. But I'm fixing to start fencing some of it in. But anyway, let's get on with the tractor. Like I said, I was out there clearing some paths for the fence, and then all of a sudden the tractor just shut off. And I don't know what caused it. It was running fine, temp was fine, everything, and it just shut off and would not crank back up. I started doing some research. This was on a Saturday, so Kubota dealership was closed. So I YouTubed it, couldn't find really nothing on YouTube. I Googled it, I found a little bit, but it was the little red triangle light was on. It was showing an E20 code, and let me turn y'all around here. Basically, the E20 code shows it's basically a communication error, but that fuse right there was blown. That's the main ECU. I have I think it's a 2020, maybe a 2019, but I believe it's 2020 l3901 Kubota hydrostat. But anyway, that 5 amp fuse was blown. So that's what I researched and found out. So I checked the fuse. Like I said, it was blown. I put another 5 amp in it. As soon as I pushed on the throttle, it died again. And same thing, would not start back. So I checked the fuse, it was blown. And basically I was out there in the woods, way back out in there. So the only other one I had was smallest one I had was a 10 amp. So I put the 10 amp in there, and it lasted for a minute. I was able to get the tractor turned around and facing towards the house, but as soon as I got pushed on the throttle again, it blew it. So I put a 20 amp in there, and that was able to get me back to the house. It didn't do it anymore. But the rest of the weekend, I didn't touch it. I didn't do anything with the tractor. I didn't drive it, nothing. Didn't even crank it, because I wanted to wait and call the dealership and see what they had to say. The only thing they could tell me, and also basically, let's see if I can get up here. I got some of this stuff taken off. Let's see. Right in there, there's a red triangle that'll light up with a little exclamation point, and it was blinking. And right down here on the screen, it was showing E20. And then after I changed the fuse, it went away. The red light triangle went away. It went out of focus here. After I put the 20 amp in here and started coming back, it started throwing the code U0083, U0082, and U0081. Looked at that, Googled it, couldn't find nothing on YouTube, so I Googled it. It was showing something about a CAN bust error, communication error. I didn't know what that meant, couldn't find anything what it meant, so this morning I called dealership, and they told me that basically that's a communication error. And basically what it can do is, let me get my butt back down off him. But it can be from a chafed wire, maybe going through the woods, running over twigs and limbs and stuff like that. Maybe I scuffed a wire or something, I don't know. I've done looked, all the wire loom is good. I can't find no wire where anything has been chafed or rubbed or trying to short out or anything like that. So basically that's what they told me to do, is check all the wiring. This right here on the pedal, on the hydrostat, there's a sensor right up behind this panel right here. And whenever you push it, push your pedal and stuff, I don't know, see if I can see that. Right up in there, there's like a little sensor. And as long as it's in neutral, it pushes up against that little plunger. And whenever you push forward or reverse, then it'll let off of it, and then you can go. But as long as, if you don't have anything, any pressure on that plunger, it won't crank. That's a safety feature. So it has to be onto that that sensor. And that's another thing. If you ever get out here and your tractor won't crank, if you have a hydrostat, sit here and sort of flutter this pedal back and forth. Try to find that sweet spot, and sometimes it'll crank. If it won't, it could be that sensor right there. It could be bad, so you may have to replace it. But I don't think that was my problem, because I kept blowing a fuse, so something was shorting out somehow. So like I said, I looked all over it, couldn't find anything. So what I decided to do is pretty much, they told me maybe look behind the dash and stuff and make sure nothing, no wire or anything's come loose or shorting out or anything like that. So around here I got a lot of dirt, grass, dust, everything. I do a lot of work in the woods with this thing, and this thing's been a beast. It's got over 400 hours on it. But what I did is I took the cover off here. I took this cover right here loose, and of course I couldn't get this off. I don't know how you get that off without taking your steering wheel off. But I was going to try to get in here behind the instrument panel, but I couldn't really get. I got back there a little bit, but not too much. But I noticed there's a lot of dirt, leaves, pine needles, dust, just caked up. So I took my water hose and I sprayed all that off real good up underneath them. I mean, I try to keep it clean as much as I can, but I don't never take them covers and stuff off. So I went ahead and took everything off and sprayed it real good. Pretty much everything on here, as far as taking off, is either pretty much 10 millimeter or 12 millimeter. The fuse box cover, the two bolts that holds that on, one on top, one on bottom, that's 10 millimeter. To take this cover off, you had a 12 millimeter here, and I think you got, go on the other side. Yep. You got one right there, right there. And then you had another one right there. And then if you want to take his cover off to get to your sensor, you got a bolt there, and a nut there. And then of course that bolt right there. And you can take that cover off to get to it. And then in order to take this off, basically you had a, let me find it here. Yeah, sort of hard to get to. You got to raise your bucket and everything up, but you had a bolt right there. Same, you got one on the other side also. You had a bolt right there. Then you had a bolt right there. And that'll loosen that up so you can pull this back. Alright, so I cleaned all that out. And whenever I washed all that and cleaned everything out, sprayed it down real good, I put my 5-amp fuse back in, and so far it hasn't done anything. I mean it runs good. It hasn't shut off. The code was still flashing, so I googled what to do on how to clear the code. Basically, on your regen system, this is your inhibit, this is your part regen. Hold those two down, and then while you're holding those two down, cut the key on. Don't crank it, just cut the key on, and it'll pop up. Let me see if I can do this. Well, I don't know if it's gonna work, guys. Maybe I can get my phone to sit up here. Maybe that'll work. My phone won't shut off. Anyway, hold those two. Turn your key on. And as long as you're holding those two, as soon as you turn the key on, you let it go. See that A right there? Basically, you can go through that and you can do a reset. Well, basically what you do is you hit your part service, which I ain't gonna do it. But, and it'll come up, and then you cut your key off, and then it'll basically reset it. Or you can push the part button once and it'll switch to B. There's a C, D, E, and F, I think. I don't know what C, D, E, and F, all that stuff is. But anyway, you get to B. You push the part regen, hold it down for 2 seconds, get a beep. It'll say push. Do the same thing again. Push it, hold it down for 2 seconds. It'll say off. Then you cut your key off. Which, sorry I didn't get all this. I was trying to figure it out, but sorry I didn't get no video of it. But anyway, across there, whenever I cranked it up, it was showing the U0081, 0082, and 0083. And it just kept cycling through them, stuff like that. So I done all that. Like I said, changed the fuse back to a 5-amp, and so far it's running good. I got 436 hours on it. So like I said, guys, that's what I did. I don't know what I did to cause it to do that. I don't know if some dirt or maybe a little small twig or pine needle or dirt or whatever was up in there shorting something out. But after I cleaned it all up and everything and cleared that code, everything's running good. I'm hoping it continues to run fine. I'm hoping that solved the problem, and I'm hoping that I didn't sort of bypass something and then end up not getting no code and tearing something up. But like I said, as of right now, it's running good. Codes are off. Like I said, one thing that really makes me feel better is it's not blowing that 5-amp fuse no more. A lot of people, what they'll do is if it starts blowing a fuse or something like that, they'll take a bigger fuse like I did, like a 20-amp or something like that, and put in there, and they say, oh, it's not blowing it, and then they just keep running it. Well, that's when you're going to burn something up, or you're going to catch something on fire, melt the wire or something. Those wires going to that fuse are made for that amperage fuse. So whatever's in there, whatever it calls for, that's what you need to use. Don't try to go bigger just to keep it from blowing, because basically then the wire is going to get too hot and short out and catch something on fire or whatever. But the only reason I done that, because that's the only fuse I had left, and like I said, I was out there in the middle of the woods and I needed to get it back here to the house, and so I just done it like maybe 5 minutes is what it ran to get it back here to the house, if that. And then like I said, after that I didn't touch it until I tried to figure out what was wrong and get it cleaned up and all that stuff. But trying to think what else. What else was I going to say on here? I talked about the fluttering of the pedal. If you get on it one day and it don't crank, I guess that's pretty much it. But anyway, yeah, let me hop back down here. This video's starting to get a little bit too long. Getting close to 30 minutes. Every now and then I'm still spitting up a little bit of that stuff. Not too bad, but anyway, turn y'all around. Basically, one thing get ready to do is I've told y'all before in some of my videos that I'm wanting to try to get some of this stuff cleaned up and fenced in. It's supposed to be real nice this next week as far as no rain. I'm hoping the wind stays calm, and it rained the other day, so it's still a little bit wet. But I'm gonna try to get up to the fire department and get our brush truck out here, and then plus I didn't want to do anything till I got my tractor figured out. I'm gonna run it for a couple of days, make sure it's still running good, don't shut off, and I gotta get out here and burn all these piles. Bunch over here on that side of the driveway. Got a big one right there. Got some more big ones out in there. Them are the ones I'm concerned about, because if anything breaks out, then it's gonna be hard to get a truck back in there. But I can do it, but with our brush truck. But I'm gonna try to have somebody out here to help me watch it and everything, so that way I can be on one side, another person be on the other side. But anyway, I'm wanting to fence all this stuff in, and then getting ready to hopefully get me maybe a couple cows, maybe a couple pigs, and so that way I can start raising my own meat. I went and checked with I think it's called USDA, farming association thing. and there's grants you can apply for, farmer grants, and plus being a veteran, they say that you can sort of bumps you up on top of the list a little bit. But you can get grants for different things. Sometimes they offer them for fencing, sometimes they offer them for watering, which I have water on up closer to the house. I don't have it further down there, but I think I can get away with this water right here. Main thing I'm concerned about is fencing. I need to, and that's going to take a lot of money to get this fenced in, but what I'm wanting to do is, in order to get that grant or apply for it, you got to already have some of it fenced in. It doesn't say how much. I'm guessing it can be 1/4 of an acre, or whatever. An acre, whatever. I'm gonna try to fence in about 2 acres of myself. Then you got to have a, you already got to have livestock on it, which meaning I could have 1 cow. But basically, I'm gonna try to fence in about 1 acre or 2, get me a cow or a pig or maybe some goats or something like that, and put it out here, and then apply for that grant. I got to try to get this done before, I think it's October the 11th is whenever I got around that time period when I got to apply. And another thing I got to do first is I got to have my land, I got to have it registered as a farm. But I'm gonna come about, make sure I don't step on no snake or anything out here, but coming down the side of the driveway right there, of course going right down through there, that's where my water line goes. My water line comes way over there on the road on the other side of the woods, and then on the other guy's land. Basically I got an easement, come across his land, come through my woods. My water line runs right through here. I got a hydrant here. Back off in there whenever I cross my fence, right there at the fence line, I got a shut-off valve. My water line runs straight down in between these trees in the driveway. You get down there about, see where that orange cone is? My water line goes from there, it keeps on going down right there where that orange cone is. Down there I got another hydrant, and then you go on down, and way down there I got another hydrant. And then, but my water line crosses over the driveway, I got a shut-off valve there. Also, right before you get to that orange cone right there, I got a shut-off valve on the other side of where it comes across the driveway. So basically I got 3 shut-off valves. I got my main meter way over there on the other side of the road, which basically in order to get to it, I'll have to go out my driveway, get on the highway, go down to the next road, get on it, and go over to that guy's house and shut my main meter off. Or if one of these hydrants right here busted, then I could just go and I could go through the woods down there to the shut-off valve at the fence, shut it off there. Because on the guy's land that gave me an easement coming across there, I also put him, that was part of the agreement, is I told him that I would supply him water to his shop. And basically he just uses the hydrant. I put him a frost-free hydrant just like this one. And basically I put it there to where he could wash his tractor, his boat, side by side, stuff like that. So he don't use a lot of water, but he has water there to where he can use it. And basically in return, he gave me an easement to come across his land with my water line. I got about 1,800 feet of water line that I had to run. But anyway, I'm wanting to come along either in between them pines or on the other side or on this side. I haven't decided yet, but coming from the highway all the way up my driveway, on both sides of the driveway, I'm gonna put me probably a white wooden fence up. And then coming along the driveway right here, on both sides, on the front, and then on the outside it's gonna have a white wooden fence. Then when you get to here, just on the other side of this hydrant, then it'll corner off. And then probably what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run me a fence alongside the water line, a few feet off of it, so that way I know basically where my water line runs. I should have done it whenever I put my water line in. On the other side of the fence on his property, I put copper wiring down, so that way basically locating wire, so that way they can locate it before they start digging. On mine at the time, I didn't come across the fence with it and come onto my property because I pretty much knew exactly where my water line was. But being the timber's cut and I'm gonna fence it in, grass is gonna start growing, it's gonna cover all that stuff up, so I'm gonna lose track of it. So basically I'm gonna run a fence down through there, and plus that'll give me an area to where I can transfer the cows or livestock, whatever I have out there, and I can move them back and forth. So shut this side off and let that grow up, and while they're over here on this side eating. And then eventually I'm gonna fence in on the other side of the driveway, and then I can transfer them over there. But so I have one going down through there, and then I'll have a fence running down through here alongside that oak tree back to the edge of them woods. And eventually I may fence some of that woods in and turn some goats, or may turn the cows back up in there, or some pigs. Let them start clearing that up. But run down the fence line, and then I'll put me a gate right there where my trailer is, just to where if the power company needs to get in here to get to the power line, they can get the truck back there to do it. But that's pretty much it. But what I was gonna say earlier in the video, I said I'll wait and save it to the end, is like I said, I'm fixing to start doing a lot of stuff around here, fencing this in, and get me a couple cows. And then I'm thinking very seriously about starting to maybe do a little business out of it, like farming. Start raising cows, pigs, chickens, goats, maybe sheep. I don't know. I'm gonna get something, and then start raising them up, taking one each year for myself and having it butchered, raise my own meat, sell the other ones, let them get grown enough for meat, sell them to somebody. Now I can't have the meat, I can't have the cows or pigs or whatever butchered and then me sell the meat, because then you got to be with the USDA and all that stuff, and then the Food Administration and all that mess. So I ain't getting into all that. If I take the cow or pig and I sell it to somebody and let them take it and have it butchered, that's on them. I can do that. Or take them to the sale, auction them off, then do them like that. I don't know if I want to actually get into breeding them just yet, because honestly I ain't never done that, and I want to, before I start doing something like that, I want to get more knowledgeable about it. So probably what I do is, instead of breeding them and raising the calves and stuff like that, which I can make more money like that, but there's also a lot more responsibility. If your cow or your heifer or whatever, whenever you first have one, then if it has a problem during birth, I may have to be out here whenever she's giving birth, and because I may have to help pull the cow out. So the calf. So I just don't know if I want to get into all that just right yet. But I could go to the sale barn and buy calves and then let them be 100% grass fed. There's a couple of different ways you can do it. I've heard if you grain feed them, then the meat tastes a lot better. It doesn't have that sort of wild game taste. Some people like that. But you can 100% grass feed them with basically no kind of chemicals or anything in their body. They're just 100% living off the land. That way they ain't got all this junk in the meat that a lot of this stuff in the world, where whenever you go to the grocery store and all these cows, they got all these different hormones and steroids and everything like that, trying to get them to grow faster. And then in return, that gets in the meat, and then it comes back and gets into you. And I have a feeling that's where a lot of this stuff is coming from nowadays, all this cancer and all these other different health problems that we're having to deal with that really didn't have to deal with back years ago. Trying to think how to say this. You ever notice, especially with females, that back years ago, I mean, some females, they was well endowed, if you know what I mean. But for the most part, most of them wasn't. Like whenever I say wasn't, meaning like younger, like teenage girls and stuff like that. Back whenever me and people older than me was in high school and stuff like that. Now, if you notice, a lot of these young teenage girls in high school, they look like full-grown women. And I believe that the reason for most of that is because of all the steroids and hormones and everything that they put in this food to try to get it to grow faster and everything. All these chickens and everything, I mean, they got to supply it, and they can't wait around for them to grow naturally on their own, so they got to give them hormone medicine and steroids and all that stuff, and all this GMO stuff and all that stuff. I have a feeling that's what causes all this mess. So I'm gonna do mine that way. If I raise my own meat and I have it butchered myself, I know where that meat come from. I know if that cow was sick or not. That's another thing. This meat in the grocery store, you have no idea what that cow has had, or even a pig or whatever. You know, you have no idea what's in that meat, where that meat came from, if that animal was sick or whatever. You have no idea. And raising your own food, you know. And I think it's a lot more healthier, a lot cheaper. So anyway, that's my plans, is to do that. And so basically what I was trying to get at, a lot of my videos from now on, I'm still gonna do RV transport, and probably not as much. I may do my minimum one a month, but I think I'm fixing to start getting into doing a little bit of farming and raising livestock and seeing if I can make money off that and everything. So So there may be a lot more videos going on with the land, the homestead, farming, stuff like that. I thought about even changing the name on YouTube. Not necessarily making another channel, but maybe changing the name of my YouTube channel, and basically it will be the name of my farm whenever I have it registered. And but whenever that comes around, I'll let y'all know if I decide to do that. But them are my plans. That way I can stay around here more and be closer to home. My little English bulldog, she's getting older, and starting to barely get around sometimes, and not being able to hold her bladder and stuff like that, and like she could whenever she was younger. Then I had to have somebody come over here and let them out and stuff like that, and sometimes it's hard to do. And even coming over and letting them out 3 times a day, I mean, that's 8 hours in between. Sometimes that can still be a little bit too long. So that way I can be around with my canine dog. Since school started back, I want to try to get into doing some stuff there and going around to the schools, talking to kids and stuff like that. Then another thing that I'm thinking about doing is back in 2015 I ran for constable, for Eastside Constable in Pontotoc. I didn't win. I think I done okay job. I was driving a truck at the time, so and plus I didn't have the money and couldn't really go out here and buy signs and go out here and politic, which I'm not a politician. And so I don't like getting out and doing all that mess. But so I wasn't able to do all that, and but being that I wasn't able to do all that, I still think I done a pretty good job. As far as, I think there was 10 candidates running for that position. There's another constable. He had been in it for, I think, 4 or 5 terms, so about 20-25 years. And he's still around. He just retired, and he works part-time for Sheriff's Department now. But man, I tell you what, he's a wonderful guy. Everybody, I ain't gonna mention his name on here, but everybody calls him Smiley, because every time you see him, it don't matter when, where, it doesn't matter. He's gonna be smiling, and he's gonna be trying to put a smile on your face. He's gonna be doing everything he can to put a smile on your face. And basically what a constable does is they go out here and serve papers for like somebody suing somebody or something like that, or warrants for a ticket or something like that. A lot of times they go here and they'll go pick you up. A lot of these sort of bigger ones and more gung-ho ones, I guess you could say, and hardcore or whatever, they don't care. They just go here and just pick you up and lock you up and go from there. Smiley, he'd work with you. If you had a warrant out, as long as you done what you told him you was gonna do. And now if you lied to him and didn't stick to your word, now he'd come back out and he'd lock you up. But he'd try to give you the benefit of the doubt and let you know, hey, you need to get up there and take care of this. And so, like I said, everybody loved him. Great guy. And pretty much whenever he was still in office, if he was running, nobody else ran against him, because there wasn't no sense in it, because, I mean, you wasn't going to beat him. That's just all it was to it. That's the same thing with the guy on the west side constable. Hardly nobody, pretty much nobody ever runs against him because you're not gonna beat him. He's the same way. But whenever he retired, then pretty much everybody put their name in the hat. So like I said, there's about 10 people. The guy that beat me back in 2015, he only made it one term. Last term, I thought he was still in it, but apparently he's not. But apparently he lost the election back in 2019. So come January 2023, I'm thinking about putting my name back in the hat and running for constable. So I may get on here and maybe set something up, and if y'all would be willing, even though that most of y'all are not in this area, so you couldn't vote for me, maybe you wouldn't mind donating for the campaign. That would be really appreciative. So anyway, we still got a couple more months before that comes around. But I know I'm just sitting here rambling and everything, and this video is getting real long. But like I said, I just want to get on here and let y'all know where I've been. I'm still alive. Thank the good Lord. So it's all His doing. So anyway, like I said, I'm still around. Still doing RV transport, just about like everybody else. Everything's slow, so I'm probably gonna pull several loads whenever things start picking back up, just to get some money going for the fencing and all that mess, and get some stuff done around here, and maybe try to get a little small nest egg built up, because my money from the timber is pretty much been deleted. So, but anyway, hope y'all learned something with the tractor. And maybe I can start doing some more videos, and like I said, may start doing more videos on homesteading, farming, tractors, stuff like that, clearing the land, putting up fencing, all that mess. So hopefully that's something that some of y'all will enjoy, and hopefully all of y'all will maybe stick around and stay subscribed and continue to subscribe and watch my channel, and help me grow. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get off here, and as always, well, before if y'all don't mind, y'all hit that like, share, subscribe button, and pass this video and others on to everybody, and help my channel grow. I'd really appreciate it. Subscribers are getting more, watch time hours are getting more, so I really appreciate everybody watching my videos and everything like that. So, but we're gonna get off here. As always, y'all be safe. Semper Fi.